should you buy a G35 in 2022, 2023? Well, this isn't exactly G35, so let's go ahead and go over to mine. So this is my 2006 Infiniti G35. I've had this for about 5 years. I've had this since I was 18, or 18 or 19, I can't remember. It's currently wrapped satin red. It's also a rear mount turbo G35, so this isn't exactly stock. Right now it's not running the best, and so I do need to work on it, and the wrap is not the best. I have messed up in a few spots, but overall it's looking good. The color, it looks really good. It's looking really good on camera right now, especially. I'm really liking this color. And I didn't wrap the rest because I am gonna paint the door handle and the side skirts black. But other than that, yeah, this is my G35 and I had it for about 5 years, so I think I can speak on just owning one and why it's actually a pretty good car to have still to this day. Even though I've had it for 5 years, I think buying a G35 today is still a really good option. By the way, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to check out Max Speeding Rods down below in the description if you guys are looking to get a turbo to turbo your car, to turbo your G35 or whatever build you guys are doing. I have a discount link down below, so go ahead, check that out. Their turbos are pretty cheap. You can get them less than $200 most of the time, and they're really reliable. That's what I run on mine. I've had no issues with my turbo, and I've been boosted for over a year, so really good stuff. Check them out. The reason why G35 is a really good option is because of, I would say, value and cost what you're getting. So you can get cheaper cars out there like a Civic or a Miata, and you can pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for those. However, you're not going to getting any power. You're going to be getting front wheel drive with the Civics and stuff. The horsepower per the cost range, I would say with this car is relatively decent. You're getting about 286 to the crank, so that's going to translate to, when I dynoed mine, I was doing like 220, 230 to the wheel. My car is a little older, so I might have lost some horsepower over the years and miles. But that was stock. Now I'm boosted. I'm doing about 350 to the wheels right now. So to the crank, I'm a little over 400 or whatnot. But yeah, crank and wheel horsepower are different for those of you that don't know. So yeah, so you can spend about between $4,000 to $8,000 for one of these. $4,000, you're going to get maybe a little rougher. You might be getting automatic, but they're still in pretty good shape as long as the oil maintenance has been taken care of. Most people blow these cars up because they do not check the oil. I have 170,000 miles on mine, boosted on the stock engine, and my engine is fine. And that's because I check on the oil all the time. I never let it run low ever. That is extremely important. If you let it run low, you're going to spin a bearing, the engine's going to overheat, and problems are going to occur, right? So one of the things I really like about this car is the overall reliability with the engines and the transmissions. The main components of the car are pretty reliable. Now, obviously, these cars have common issues, just like any other car is going to have. But I would say those issues are relatively minor compared to a lot of like 335i's and a lot of like German cars, their issues they typically have. This is a Japanese built, so you're gonna pretty much always get quality with Japanese cars. That's why I love Japanese cars. I like Subaru, Infiniti, Nissan, Toyota. That's usually how I roll normally, because overall the issues I get with those cars are nothing compared to the issues I have with Audis and BMWs. And I've only had a couple of them, and the issues I have are just really frustrating, really expensive to fix, and they're really hard to work on. And this car is relatively easy to work on. I boosted it myself. Engine bay can be a little tight sometimes, but it's nothing too bad. As long as you have the correct tools. Tools are very important, and you just keep up with the maintenance. This car will last you well over 200,000 miles easy. If you don't boost yours, keep up the oil maintenance, change out sensors, clean things, change your oil, fluids, everything. I don't see why this car wouldn't go over 2,000 miles or 200,000 miles easily. I see a lot of Gs being sold over 200,000 miles. Over 200,000 miles, if you have an auto, the trans might start to go out, which is to be expected. That's whatever. I mean, 200,000 miles for an auto trans is pretty decent, I would say. You have a manual transmission, and you have the 2005, 2006 transmission, the CDO99. That transmission will pretty much last forever. They overbuilt it because the ones in 03 and 04 were underbuilt. So if you have a 05, 06 G35, that's pretty ideal. $5,000 to $7,000, get yourself a reliable rear-wheel drive car with a decent amount of power to the wheels. Now the unfortunate thing, this is like the go-to car for people that just graduate high school and maybe they want to upgrade from their little Honda Civic or their rinky-dink Hyundai Elantra or something, right? This is typically the go-to for people my age, between 18 and 24. And unfortunately, a consequence of that is that by the time you get them, they usually beat the crap out of them, which they can handle, but they don't usually take care of the car very well. They let the car run low on oil. They don't check fluids, and things kind of just get run down. They slam the car. The tires are all have camber wear like I do. I have some camber wear because I don't have camber arms on the front. I do have them on the back, but I never put them on the front, which I wish I did, because now my tires are destroyed. Myself included. I got this car when I was like 18 or 19, and I just beat the crap out of it, but it's still running and boosted. So I think obviously it's doing a pretty good job. So, and one other thing is, if you get an automatic one, they're usually in better shape because everybody wants the manuals. So if you get manuals, they're usually way more beat up and harder to find in good shape. And if you want a good shape one, you're going to be paying a decent amount of money, maybe around $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 if you want one that's pretty much immaculate and perfect shape. So do just keep that in mind. And one of the best reasons why I like this car is the aftermarket accessibility and support. You can do whatever you want to this car. You can boost it, supercharge it easily. You can find a kit. You can build a kit your own. You can make it look however you want. You can slam it, it looks good. If you get a decent exhaust and you know what you're doing on the exhaust, you can make it sound amazing. Mine personally, I think it sounds amazing. It is because it's boosted. However, I have Motordyne art pipes, which I think they go for like $1,000 now, which is crazy. I have art pipes, and then other than that, I'm pretty much straight pipes after that. I have stock headers, but the car sounds really good. It's extremely loud, but it sounds good for me. I don't mind loud, so I don't mind the loud sound. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. There's plenty of options, budget options, expensive options. Whatever your budget buys, you can do easily. You can do wide body. I mean, you can do whatever you want to this car. You can make it a drift monster. You can make this a drag car. It is extremely versatile when you're doing aftermarket. If you're looking for a car you can modify and customize and make it look to how you want to look and feel and drive, this is perfect, honestly. Just to show you guys the turbo right here, rear mount turbo. So if you're behind me at night, you can kind of see it if you're low enough. I actually do want to get some lights under here. I feel like that look really cool. Yeah, so some common problems you're probably going to have with it. You're going to have issues with cam sensors. Your differential bushings are going to go out. Suspension bushings are going to go out. It's usually nothing too major. It's just normal maintenance on a normal car. These cars do burn oil, so you do have to keep check with the oil, because otherwise it'll run low, and after a few weeks you might be a quart low, might get 2 quarts low, and then you start driving it like that hard, you're gonna ruin the engine. It's gonna blow up, right? Pretty much everybody that blows their engine up, that's the main reason why. With these cars, these engines are perfectly built unless you run them low on oil. That's just my personal experience. That's what I've experienced. If you run them low on oil, they'll blow up at 100,000 miles. But if you keep up with the maintenance, it'll last forever. So do a good pre-purchase inspection. Check the oil, make sure it's not running low on oil. If it's running low on oil, that's a bad sign. That means the owner is not checking on it very good. Maybe check out some other ones. Again, you're probably gonna be paying money if you want it to be in good shape and the paint good and everything. So that's just up to your budget and what you can afford. If you really want to cheap out, you can get one of these for like 33 grand, 3,500, but it is probably gonna have some issues and not look the best. And it will take some work. But if you want one that'll just be good to go, I would spend about $6,000, $7,000, maybe $8,000 if it's the right one. I would say don't spend any more than $8,000. Then they're just kind of trying to rip you off. But I spent $7,500 on this, and I got this from a dealership, and it was a one-owner car. So I am the second owner of this car. So it looks a lot different than it did when the first owner had it. It's definitely far from stock now. But yeah, just do your research. These are good cars to have. They're good tuner cars. If you like Japanese cars and all that, this is the perfect car for you. And it's not too expensive, especially nowadays with everything being crazy expensive. If you want to make it fast, you can make it fast. I boosted this for like $3,000, $4,000 max, and that is because I did all the labor myself and everything and got all the parts and made a custom kit. If you're trying to get a kit, it's probably going to cost you like $10,000 if you want a really good one that fits and bolts on and everything. So just keep that in mind. That's pretty much gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys again for watching. If you're new to my channel and want to follow the build on the G, this is a rear mount turbo G35. So if you want to follow the build, go ahead and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. You can also follow my Instagram and everything like that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.